Hello viewer, today we are going to learn how to make bag gardens, and bag gardens are very ideal in the urban setting. As you know, land is the limiting factor in food production, and therefore we have come up with an idea of increasing land size so that we can be able to produce more food from a small unit area, and hence the introduction of sack gardens or vertical gardens. You can call them by so many names. They are also called the portable gardens because they are gardens that one can move from one place to another, and also they are called multi-story gardens because they are like a story building, because you plant your crops going up like that. And in 1 meter square, using the larger bags like the ones that you can see here, you can have a population of around 100 plants planted on the sides and also on the top. And bag gardens are very ideal in urban setting because in urban setting land is the limiting factor, and as you know that vegetables are very important in our meals, and sometimes you'll find that in the urban dwellings vegetables are grown using sewage water, and therefore it's very important for one to have a kitchen garden where you can produce your safe food, that you know the source, and that you are sure that they are grown using clean water. And also in the side of pesticides, you know that maybe if you have used your any pesticide to control insects, you have waited for the PHI. PHI is pre-harvest interval, and this is the interval that one waits after spraying a crop with a pesticide. Those who don't use organic products, those people who don't use biocontrol agents like us, as we use safe means. But for a person who is using chemicals to control insects, you have to adhere to the time after spraying that you need to wait so that the chemical is no longer harmful. Therefore, in short, what I want to say is that it's very important for somebody to grow his own vegetables at the back of his house. It's called backyard farming. Or maybe in your parking area, you set aside a small portion of land where normally we are fond of planting flowers, and we want to change the mentality of our people to divert from planting flowers, because although flowers are attractive to the eyes, I would like to tell you people that also crops can act like flowers, and some of them have flowers like the hibiscus flower, a beverage that is being used to replace sodas and the like, and even tea, because of its beneficial properties. So instead of having that mentality that in the compound you need to plant flowers, we encourage people to start farming in their compounds. And now I'm going to start demonstrating to you how these bag gardens are made. And I'm going to use a small size bag because of convenience. So with this kind of a bag, you have to make it hollow like this. You can see it's open both sides. It's open, and you look where you want to start your sack garden. You level it properly so that the bottom will sit without bedding. So I'll start by mixing now the soil with our manure, and this is soil, and also this is manure. So start mixing. If you find big stones, you can remove them, and things like polythene papers, those that cannot decompose, it's good to remove them. And you have to mix your soil thoroughly with the manure. Our soil mixture is well mixed. Therefore, now you take your bag and you fold your bag like this. And then on your level ground, you put your bag nicely like this, and you need to fold it a bit at the bottom where the soil will sit. Make it sit properly like that, and then from the sides you put a layer of soil like that.
how to place the soil properly so that it has that round shape. And then you need to have a conduit like this one, and this one is used to allow water to percolate down. And if you are using the bigger bags, you need to have a container that is wide, like the 4-liter gallon. So you can either use a gallon or any round shape, but the idea is to have a column of concrete from the bottom of the bag, so that when you put water, the water is able to move down up to the bottom. But normally we don't put the conduit down at the ground level. If you are using these big bags, you need to put your conduit 1 foot higher from the soil surface. You put your soil mixture 1 foot higher in the bag, and then now you put your conduit like this. But in our case, I've put about 15 centimeters from the bottom of the pit, because I'm using a smaller sized bag. And as I was saying, that the circumference will depend with the circumference of the bag, and because in our case we are using a smaller bag, we are using a circumference that is not too wide like this, because if you use a very big conduit, it will occupy the area that is meant for the soil mixture, which is very important for the plant development. So with that kind of arrangement, now I can continue putting my soil mixture. You place it with your hands, and it's very important that your soil should not have dangerous things like grasses, because you can cut yourself. So you place it like that. As you continue, you go on unfolding your bag. you need to make the bag firm so that it will not rouge after you have finished, because it needs to be firm enough. And also because if it is not firm, when you put water, if the bag was not properly made, it can bend to one side, and then it collapses. So you can see our bag is acquiring shape as we move on. So you can see your bag is good enough, and then now we put concrete. Our pipe is now full, but if you are making those big ones, those big bags, and you are having a shorter container that you put the concrete in, you'll be lifting your container as you build the bag, because sometimes the bag is more than 1 meter high. So you keep on lifting your container as you put the soil. You put the container, and then you put the concrete, and then you lift it as you build the column. So here now I remove the pipe, because the pipe is not meant to remain in the bag like that. So you remove it, and then this you remove the excess concrete. Okay, here to perforate our holes using a hot bar. You put the bar in a jiko or in any source of fire, and when the bar is well heated, you come and now perforate the holes. Normally we perforate the holes at a distance of 15 centimeters apart, and they should be acquire what we call diagonal offset, so that if our first hole is here and I perforate my hole there like that, then the other one here, I go around like that, perforating like that, like that. So I have now the first row like that. Then the next line will follow here, and it should be in between this hole and this hole. I have my hole here, so I put the hole there, then the other one here, then like that, and that's what is called diagonal offset. So the third row comes here like that. And you can see this technology of perforating is very ideal, because you can perforate very many holes at once, like that. So after perforating the holes, you can see they acquire diagonal offset like that, and this allows that you create more space, because the second row the plant will come growing like this, and that so the canopy of the vegetables don't overlap. And after perforating, now you come, and then now you put water. And you should let the water go slowly. So these are our vegetable, it's called a kale, and you can see that we have removed the excess leaves, so that you also minimize the water loss through evaporation. So you cut now the these excess leaves like that, so that you are left with a very few leaves, because the roots are not well established, and if you lose a lot of water through the leaves, the plant might dry, and or it might wilt, and this will cause retardation. There is also very important aspect in transplanting. Before you go and uproot your nursery, you need to water the nursery 30 minutes before uprooting the seedlings.
so that the roots will come out very, very nicely. And also, when you are planning to do transplanting, it's always important you harden up your seedlings. You minimize water application in the nursery. If you are doing twice a day, you go reducing the amount of water and the number of times that you water your nursery. And if your nursery was in a shaded area, you remove the shade gradually. You remove maybe the shade during the morning hours when the sun is not too hot, and then when the sun is very hot at noon, you return it, so that you go on hardening your seedlings, so that you reduce what is called a transplanting shock. And therefore, when now you do the actual transplanting, the seedlings chances of drying are minimal, because it had started being acclimatized to harsh conditions. And when now you go and uproot your nursery and take your seedlings, you need to have a stake like this one. And then if you have excess roots, it's good to trim some of the long roots, so that you encourage new roots to grow as faster as is possible. So normally you put your stake like that inside there, then you put your vegetable like that, then using the same stick you place a bit like that, you do it like that. Then you can use the same stick to make the roots go in like that. You continue like that. You can see the seedlings are facing down, but right alone they'll stand up, because the shoots or plants stay to go towards sunlight, and these ones now are bedding, but after some time they will stand and they will be upright. Then when you have completed planting your seedlings, it's always good also to water again, so that you remove the air pockets, so that and the roots will be in contact with the soil, and that will minimize the drying of the seedlings. And with that, I come to my training of multi-story gardening, and your trainer today was Erastus Maina, production manager Rodi Kenya, and Rodi Kenya stands for Resources Oriented Development Initiatives Kenya, and we are based in Ruiru.